Hello and welcome to Grumpy Young Man. I am your host, Kyle Souza. Thank you very much for listening. If you are interested in this kind of thing, please consider subscribing. And as always, your ratings, reviews, and comments are greatly appreciated. Okay, this one is from November of 2020, is what I'm talking about today. And it's upsetting in two different ways. But it is less serious than last episode. So, I want you to know that, though it does involve a police officer over in the UK. Cambridgeshire Constable Simon Reed, to be exact. With an incident that happened in February of last year. I found out about it in November, and that's when his stuff got resolved, when he had a hearing and his fate was decided. So here's what happened. The officer went into a mini mart, a Tesco extra supermarket over there, right, and bought some donuts that should have cost £10. So $10 for the American listeners. Even though that's not the exact exchange rate, we'll just call it $10. And he bought some carrots, which would have been, I think they said 7 pence, which really cheap carrots. Okay, 7 cents for carrots. I wish we had carrots that were that price. Back to the story. So he goes and he weighs out the carrots, and then he puts the barcode on the Krispy Kreme box instead of the bag of carrots. Now, he has maintained that it was just a matter of convenience. It was an accident. He wasn't trying to do this thing that he did, but that this action right here, which is what they say was purposeful, he says was just carelessness on his part. Okay? And then when he went and checked out, he scanned the carrot barcode twice instead of the donut barcode and the carrot barcode on the same box. Scanned the carrot barcode twice, paid, and left. Now, this is a police officer who was on duty and in uniform. And he was buying donuts for his group. I don't know if they call them precincts over there, but he was buying some donuts for other officers and buying some carrots as a bit of a joke for his, I don't know what the rank would be, but whatever his commanding officer is, he was buying him some donuts, or some carrots instead of donuts because he was on a diet, just as a joke. He figured he would eat the donut anyways. So, this officer got investigated and has been removed and can't be a police officer, as far as I understand, can't be a police officer anywhere in the UK again. So, to be clear, he stole about $10 worth of donuts. Now, here's the issues as I see them. Here's why everybody's mad. Here's why it's justifiable that he lost his job. He stole the donuts. He was on duty, in uniform. People are not going to check up on officers to see if they are stealing things, generally. And challenging an officer, especially one in duty and on uniform, rarely goes well for the person doing the challenging. Speak from experience with that. It just doesn't go well. So people don't do it, so they don't think about it, and officers can get away with a lot. So that's a bad thing that he did. And it is considered to be so serious that he could be dismissed, and he eventually was dismissed. Now, the other thing that's upsetting is this guy's life may have been ruined over $10. If we want our officers to show restraint maybe we should show them some restraint. Maybe if we want them to give people the benefit of the doubt, we should give them the benefit of the doubt. If an officer is doing something small like this, a £10 $10 theft, right? If they're doing something small, maybe we see if they do it more than once. And if it's a habit, yeah, sack them and don't let them ever take a place of authority again. They're not a good person. But maybe it could have been an honest accident. Maybe it could have been error in judgment. Maybe people make mistakes because they're human, even if they're police officers. And even if he lost this job, he should not be barred from becoming a police officer anywhere else. Though, officers that can move from just department to department, though, are a big problem here in America when it comes to people with violent offenses. But this was a non-violent offense. So I'd say for non-violent offenses, even though this is an abuse of power, but not one where they're intimidating a person directly, that kind of thing. So for a non-violent offense, maybe see if it's a habit before you fire the person. I know that if I don't work in law enforcement, but if I, at my job, observed somebody stealing something, I would not necessarily immediately fire them. Maybe they're stealing some office supplies, which could very easily be worth $10. They're stealing a ream of paper or something. I don't know. I'd say, hey, why are you taking that? Well, I need paper for the house. Okay, but you're not supposed to do that. You can't do that. They'd have a talking to. I wouldn't just immediately fire them. And they definitely would not be barred from getting a different office job. Now, officers should be held to a higher standard. I 100% agree with that. That law enforcement officials, military personnel, elected representatives, religious leaders, these people should be held to a higher standard. We also need to realize that they are human. So when we take these 2 points together, what is best, I think, is if we extend to officers like this one the same courtesy that we are asking that they extend to everybody, which is give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that kid didn't steal that candy bar on purpose. Maybe he was just talking to his friends and forgot to pay for it. Maybe that happened. Now, if that happens 3 or 4 times, we got a problem. That kid is just using that as an excuse. And if the officer ever did this a second time, there should be, a serious look into it. But from what I see, what I can tell, I think this was overboard and overkill on this officer, and I feel bad for him. And I don't want officers abusing their power. That is already something that they do, and it's terrible, but there are many who abuse their power much worse than this guy did. If he even was abusing his power, I would like to try giving him the benefit of the doubt first and see if he does something similar again. But I'd love to hear what you have to say, what you think about it. So please let me know your thoughts. I'm Kyle Souza. My blog is TalkingGeek.com. If you would like to support this podcast, please consider subscribing, rating, reviewing, and checking out the TalkingGeek.com/pod links for some affiliate links of mine that you might find interesting. Thank you very much and have a great day.